Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another 9lux nails video. Today I have my Extendo curve client here, and we're just going to get right into her freestyle. So I'm already starting with my Mia Secret Cover Nude Blush Acrylic. Y'all know this is my go-to girl. I love her so much, and I'm going in with a really large bead to try to cover the entirety of the free edge of the nail, and then I will go in and build up the apex and thickness. I don't change my routine, I just keep it consistent and always give top tier application. So continue to watch this little portion, and we're going to jump right into designing these nails. Also wanted to remind you that I am using my Mia Secret monomer as well as primer and dehydrator from Mia Secret and a number 12 Kolinsky brush. I will have everything linked in the description box. When it comes to the curve application, my number one goal is to keep them with a tapered appearance, but I do use quite a bit of acrylic because I want to make sure that they're so structurally sound and thick. I don't want them too thin, nor do I want them too thick to where they seem more bulky, but I want to keep them tapered but make sure they are thick because they already have gravity going against them with the curve. So you just want to make sure that your client has extra security by just making sure that apex and body is very much strong. And before moving on to the next nail, I'm always going to look at all angles of my application just to make sure that I didn't miss any spots of thickness, because you can always take away once you finish filing and buffing, but you can't add to, so you don't want any indentions in your application. And now that the application is finished, we're getting right into the design. I am using my Beetles brand polish as well as my Beetles brand art brushes. and we're going right in and doing two regular Frenchies on these two nails. These will be my statement nails, so they will be the two that has the flowers on them. So I'm just going to do two regular Frenchies, and I did not do my top coat underneath the Frenchies only because I knew I would be doing a trim. And I love watching my videos in real time because you see how anal I am about that line that I know I'm going to cover up with a trim, like I just said. So watch me struggle and get that line to my perfection, and then we'll fill her in and do the same on the middle finger as well. Now that I have both Frenchies complete, I'm going to get her cured in the light, and then I'm going in with my Beetles brand black polish, and I'm going to go in and create just three nice sized black lines straight up and down. This, to me, black and white is always the perfect accent to any set. It allows any color that you place with it to pop even more. So whenever I'm doing even short freestyles or most any designs, you guys know I will always throw on a black and white nail. So I just knew this black and white would help those flowers pop. And I actually did have an inspo picture. I'm going to add it on Instagram, so you already know to make sure you're following my socials. But I'm just going to with my steady hand, do 3 straight lines straight down this nail and also do the trim and get that cured in my LED light. And now that that is cured, I'm going in with this very hot pink. Most of the times when my clients return, I can remember the previous 2 or 3 sets they've had, so I know what colors I have not put on them, and it was just her time to get this very bright and bold pink. So I'm going in and doing 2 full pink nails. I love this color, and also the flowers that I plan to do, just that pink is just popping to me. So I went in and did 2 solid pink nails because these are very bold nails and I wanted to continue and accent that boldness. And y'all know my rule of thumb, it does not take a lot of polish on the first coat. So whenever you are painting the base coat, you want her to be very thin and not seek out your true color payout. It will come on your second coat, but you do not want your first coat to be so thick that it does not have enough time to dry all the way through. And now that those nails are done, all of my clients have been in love with the glow in the dark top coat. It is the spring and summer months, so of course we want to have a little more fun with our nails, and my clients absolutely love this glow in the dark top coat. So I'm going in and applying that right over all of the nails that I have applied the gel polish to, and then the fun part will start: the flowers. And now for the moment we have all waited for: the flowers. Oh my god, I have been in love with different techniques. So I had this molding nail clay. It's not a gel. So the previous flowers that I did were a thicker molding gel. This is more like a clay. So it definitely has a different consistency, but I had this sitting over to the side and I was like, don't allow your products to scare you. Just use them. So I was like, today we're going to use this molding clay. So I'm just going in and grabbing some of the colors that I want to see in the set, and we're going to get started. These are the tools that I'm going to use: a dotting tool, a cuticle pusher, and also a silicone sculpting pen. Now to start the flowers, I'm just going to go in with the hot pink, and I'm keeping a wet alcohol wipe beside me because that is key to using this product. So I'm just going in and grabbing small amounts of the molding clay, and I'm just going to place it right on the nail where I want to make the flowers. So one thing about this consistency, like I said, it is like a clay. So I did not have the ability to fully mold it like I did the previous gel that I used in my last upload. So I'm going straight in and applying this directly to the nail, and just by learning the consistency, I knew that I wouldn't be able to shape these flowers exactly how I did with the other one. So even with tapping it, I noticed that the clay was transferring back onto the silicone. So that's where the alcohol wipe comes in, because you want to keep your silicone tool as clean as possible. So every time I used it, pretty much I was having to wipe it off. But in doing so and still getting my client done in the allotted time for her appointment, I just made sure that I wasn't going to let this molding clay defeat me. So I was like, we're just going to follow through. And I actually started to enjoy the texture once I started moving it. So I was like, hey, this is going to be fun. Let me just follow through with it. The clay wasn't molding like the previous gel I used. So I was like, this will be a textured set. And it turned out so bomb. So moving on to the next petals, and I did know that I was going to do this design on 4 of the fingers. I just decided to continue going through. I still wanted to make each petal resemble different types of flowers, so I still attempted to move and mold it, but you have to be very patient and just don't give up with the product. So as you can see, the more I'm tapping into it and moving it around, is beginning to look like petals. And when I feel like it's too much buildup on my silicone tool, I will wipe it off with my alcohol and proceed to building the flowers. So now that I got that finger out the way, I'm like, okay, we can move on. Y'all know I like to move my sets around and get a little motion. So the next flower, I'm just going to drop her down just a little bit and still do the exact same technique, but I am going to make them look just a little different so that they're not matchy matchy. And once I place the molding clay exactly where I want it to be, I'm going to go in with the same technique as the previous flower and just turn these little small globs into leaves. And one thing about this product I do like is it does not dry out. So even with me having the tops off of all of the tubes and working with each petal, I am not curing in between or anything. I did notice that I can just go straight on through with using this product and then put it into the light and cure it for 60 seconds. And I did a double cure because I wanted to make sure that it was very hard, and it does harden up like super hard. So after tussling with these petals a little bit, I did tussle with them a little bit. They was trying not to flatten out for me, but I got it to exactly where I wanted. Now I'm just going to clean off my cuticle pusher and scrape out another color. I did want to do like a little ombre effect. So I'm learning in the process. This was my first time fully using this product. So I just decided to place on a little glob here and just merge it up with the other color, and it turned out exactly how I thought it would. So I do know I let this product sit on my shelf for a little bit too long versus just getting straight in and using it and seeing how I love it. So even going back to it staying moist and not drying out, I'm able to just ombre this small amount of light pink right into the hot pink, and it turned out so cute. And once I was succeeding with this portion, it inspired me and we started getting it. So this was just one flower technique. I am going to do another flower technique shortly, so stay tuned. Now, after completing that flower, I wanted to go in with this yellow slash orangish color, and I just took a little glob of it. Now, one thing with this product is I can't fully make circles out of it, but I decided to roll it back and forth and use my cuticle pusher and cut the little balls that I wanted. So I just did that little roll, and then I'm going to do a little chop and place that on the nail, and then I will form out the shape that I'm trying to get. And mind you, we still have not put this product into the LED light yet. So as you can see, it's not moving. It's not doing anything but sitting exactly where I put it. So it is a product worth purchasing if you want to challenge yourself to create this type of textured art. I would suggest purchasing it and just having fun. And you already know I want to see what you guys create, so feel free to tag me in any inspo that you do, especially on Instagram. I love to share your guys' work in my story. So I'm placing these little orange balls, and then I'm going to go in with my dotting tool and try to put just a little pierced dot in the center of it. And y'all know when I do most of my art, or sometimes I do fun art, I just add those little multi-sized dots. So it's like the parsley you put on everything. This is my little sprinkles. It's not necessarily a flower, but it just adds a little extra artisticness to the set. So once I finished that first flower, I was like, okay, let's go in and add a little more fun while I think of the next flower that I'm going to do. And I would say this dot gave me a harder time than the others. And I think it's only because I did not have enough of the product right there. So I just decided to add a little bit more of the molding clay to this little portion, and it turned out perfect. So I think that was just too small of an amount to create the circle inside of it. But just keep working with it. Don't get frustrated. Don't allow your clients to see you sweating like you don't know what you're doing. It's just nail art, and it's really all expressive. So just keep going and don't get frustrated. And as you can see, I was able to get her looking like her sisters. Now we're going to go in with the purple color, and I'm going to create a different type of flower. So I did go in and grab a nice larger size of the purple, and I was able to roll it into a circle just by the amount that I used, but I did not want all of my flowers to be so large. So I still proceeded with the purple ones because the time was rolling on down and I was like, I want to get all of these colors on her nail. So I just tried to do that little roll, but I'm still going to have to mold that color to get exactly what I want. But I'm going to do the purple flower, and then the same as I did with the light pink, I'm going to add the light blue in the center of this flower. And I absolutely, y'all know my favorite thing to say, I love how it turned out. So just keeping my tool clean with alcohol, I'm just pressing in and getting a few ridges and doing like a little 3 petal flower. This method was not hard to do at all compared to the first one. So again, even continuing through with using this product, I'm still learning how to use the product. Now I'm going to go in and I try to do the same with the green as I did with the purple, but I noticed the ball was not turning into a full ball. It was more residue left on my hand because it was a smaller amount. So that's how I knew that with the purple I was able to create those balls because of the amount of the product that I had. But for this small one, it was leaving residue. So I just got what I could get, and then I'm going to go in and create just some faux leaves. It's giving just the impression of a leaf, so it's not going to be perfect, but see, every time I tried to do the ball, it just started getting worse and worse. So I was like, okay, we're just going to freestyle these leaves, girl, because that's what we do best. So I put that green on and did a little chop here and chop there and created just the illusion of some leaves. I did add the finishing touches off camera because I was going during my workday recording this, and my next client was here, and that is my error because these nails are so long. We were yapping and having fun, but they turned out so perfect. I just added a little bling and added that blue to the center of the purple flower, and they turned out so beautiful. I know you guys are already on my other socials because you love this set. I will be posting the inspo picture, and until we come out with our next video, you already know to follow my socials.